Just wanted to talk, that's all.
All right. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. I know a lot of you tuned out from baseball after the Yankees lost the World Series, and I'm not going to blame you. Obviously, you've probably heard about Juan Soto leaving via free agency, and so I kind of wanted to take a quick snapshot of where the Yankees lineup is as of right now. So my lineup order may differ from yours, but in general, I think all of the component pieces are going to be the same. It's just how you want to arrange them. Let's take a look at the depth chart first before we get started and just kind of see where we're at. So as you can see, Dominguez probably going to have a lane to start this year. Right now I've got him in left field. Cody Bellinger picked up via trade from the Cubs. He's in center. Aaron Judge sliding back over to right field where he is an elite defender. Jaz Chisum, there was another report this morning. He is going to move back to second base, most likely, which opens up a spot at third base. Right now, I've got Peraza in there as my third baseman. DJ LeMahieu, also an option. He's on the bench for me right now. Oswaldo Cabrera, also an option. We'll talk about that. Anthony Vulpi, of course, at shortstop. Paul Goldschmidt, the new first baseman, and Giancarlo Stanton, the DH, with Austin Wells behind the dish. Right now, no set backup catcher. I've got Ben Rice as my second string catcher because he can actually back up at two positions, both catcher and first base. And he's got a good left-handed swing, and I think he will hit if he gets more at-bats. And right now, the Yankees don't have a clear-cut favorite for the backup catcher position. They just acquired Alex Jackson as well, but he's kind of a journeyman type, not on the 40-man roster. So I want to go through the lineup and just kind of see where we're at. This is how I would lay things out. You may feel differently. Leading off, I've got Mr. Jason Dominguez, the Martian.
The Martian.
I really think he's going to have a strong rookie campaign. He is the Yankees' #1 prospect. Of course, a lot has been made over the $5.1 million signing bonus. Yankees gave him pretty much their entire bonus pool. Made his debut at 20 years old. 4 home runs in his first 7 big league games. Then he tore his UCL, required Tommy John surgery. 880 OPS coming back this year in the minor leagues. Struggled a little bit when he got back to the major leagues, but I am very confident in Jason Dominguez's ability. And again, we'll go through all of these, and then we'll take a look at the lineup in order where it will be a little bit easier to visualize. So batting second, I've got Aaron Judge moving back into the number 2 spot.
Here comes the Judge.
322 average last year, 58 home runs. Just another unbelievable season. 2-time MVP. He's got 350 home run seasons in his career. He's a 6-time All-Star, 4-time Silver Slugger. And, of course, he is the Yankees captain. He's got 7 years remaining on that record contract that he signed. Now, he's going to lose a lot of RBI opportunities this year because Juan Soto will not be hitting in front of him. That's kind of why I want Jason Dominguez at the top of the order, because he seems like he could be a high on-base percentage guy. His OBP was very good in the minor leagues. We've seen him be very patient. I think if he can develop into a pretty good on-base machine, it could help, replace a little bit of that void that we're going to have of base runners on in front of Aaron Judge. Now, in the number 3 spot, I want to go lefty, righty as much as possible. So I've got Cody Bellinger in the number 3 spot. Now, Belly didn't have an amazing year last year statistically, and AI definitely captured his perpetual stoned look. But 266 average last year, 18 home runs, 78 RBIs. Year before that, he was fantastic. 307 average, 26 home runs, comeback player of the year. He's been an MVP. He is battle-tested. 29 years old, still playing for an even bigger contract. He is owed $57 million, but he has an opt-out after this year, which he may use if he has a good year. And that slides Mr. Giancarlo back into the number 4 spot. Ideally, I don't really want him in the number 4 spot. I'd prefer somebody who makes a little bit more contact, but since you're staggering lefty-righty at this point, it makes sense to have Big G in there at number 4. Obviously, the ALCS MVP nuclear Stanton, 2017 MVP with 59 home runs, still some of the best bat speed and best power in the game. 7 home runs in the playoffs. He's had leg issues since 2019. He misses a lot of time. He really can't run anymore. He's still got 3 years left on his contract at $66 million total. You're never going to hear me complain about this contract again. I know I've given him a hard time over the last couple of years because of how much time he's missed, but the fact that he hits every time he's in the postseason and he carried us to the World Series. Next up, I've got Austin Wells.
Your milkshake.
I drink your milkshake. Ranked second in AL catching WAR to Cal Raleigh of the Mariners. Now, his overall stats were not amazing. 229 average, 322 on-base percentage, although you do like an on-base percentage that's almost 100 points higher than the average. 13 home runs, but he had a stretch there from June 1st through August 31st where he hit 288, 11 home runs, 900 OPS, 378 on-base percentage, and 37 ribbies. He struggled a little bit down the stretch, but I like his swing. I like some of the adjustments he made late in the playoffs in October. He obviously hit a big home run in the World Series. I think that Austin Wells is going to take that next step forward offensively this year. 260, 270, 20 home runs, I think is perfectly reasonable for Austin Wells. All right, since we're going lefty-righty again, next, the new guy, Paul Goldschmidt.
More gold is required.
Paul Goldschmidt is a professional. Just a total professional. Had a little bit of a down first half last year, but bounced back in the second half with an OPS almost at 800. He's played in 150-plus games in 9 straight full seasons, and in 2020, when there was only 60 games, he played in 58 of them. He was the MVP in 2022, and as I mentioned in a recent podcast, I have a few friends that are Cardinal fans, and so I kind of pinged them and said, hey, tell me about Paul Goldschmidt, right? I saw the bad numbers in the first half, look better in the second half. And they said basically he's a ball player, right? He was working on some swing mechanics. Would not shock them if he bounced back with the Yankees this year. Now he is a little bit long in the tooth, going to be 37 years old this year. So I wouldn't count on another MVP season, but if he hits 260, 270, maybe 280 with 20 bombs and plays every day at first base and picks it over there, he does have 4 gold gloves. I think that will be a nice pickup for the Yankees and an improvement over what Anthony Rizzo gave you.
You like jazz?
Next on our list is Jaz Chisum, 26 years old, 24 home runs, 40 stolen bases in 2024, 273 average, 11 home runs, 18 stolen bases, 130 OPS in 46 games with the New York Yankees. He was an all-star with Miami in 2022, and he can play either second base or third base. He can also play the outfield. He played center with Miami. But the thought is that the Yankees are going to move him back to second base this year, which will open up third base for someone who we'll talk about a little bit more in just a second. But I think that will give the Yankees a strong team up the middle. When you got Wells behind the dish, you got Vulpi and Chisum up the middle, and then you got Bellinger in center field. That's a pretty strong defense straight up the middle, which is what you want in baseball. Now let's talk about that shortstop. Yeah, Volpe's my shortstop, obviously. He's my number 8 hitter. He began the season as the Yankees' leadoff hitter last year. He actually did a really nice job for the first couple of months before really struggling. I saw a post on Reddit that pretty much summed him up perfectly, and I'm paraphrasing now, but it said something like, he'll be unbelievable for 2 or 3 weeks and then stink for 4 weeks. And that's exactly the feeling I get with Anthony Volpe. 28 stolen bases last year, one of the better base runners in baseball, 97th percentile according to Baseball Savant. I do hope that he can be that guy that we had for the first couple of months of the season and doesn't regress into a defensive first shortstop. Although, well, maybe defensive first, but you don't want him to be defense only. You want more offense. He did have some good at-bats in the playoffs, and he hit that home run, the grand slam in the World Series, which maybe will give him a little bit of added confidence. I've been saying he needs a little bit more time off. He always plays better after you give him a few days off. He plays hard. He's always diving and things like that and stealing bags. And I just feel like if you give him 1 or 2 days off a month, I think he'll be a lot more healthy in the long run. All right, rounding out my lineup, and this is why the Yankees need one more bat. We're going to take a look at Oswaldo Peraza.
Throws on the run. That's a special play right there.
As I mentioned, now he is our third baseman for the time being, unless you go with DJ LeMahieu, which no serious team would do given what DJ's shown over the last couple of years. He'll be 25 this year, so he's not really a prospect anymore. He still has elite defensive abilities. He's played in 74 Major League games. He hasn't had a ton of at-bats, about 250 at-bats or so. I don't have the number right in front of me, but 216 average, 4 home runs, 612 OPS, and a 768 career minor league OPS. So he doesn't tear the cover off the ball. He definitely has some offensive room to grow. He's got some pop. We've seen it. He's got speed, and defensively he's elite. Got an amazing arm over there. Very, very quick hands. I think he'll do fantastic at third base defensively. The issue is going to be, will he hit? And will the Yankees give him a chance to hit? I don't know. Ideally, you'd like a left-handed hitting, third baseman who can fill in. Where's Robin Ventura? Can he still play? Someone of that ilk, a sweet swinging lefty. I'm kind of bummed that they traded Trey Sweeney. They didn't really get much for him. He's become a pretty good defensive shortstop with the Tigers. I feel like he could have been the third baseman in waiting for the Yankees if you wanted him. Maybe the Tigers will make a deal. I doubt it. But anyway, that's the way my lineup's looking right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the overview here so we can visualize this a little bit better. Dominguez leading off in left field, switch hitter. Judge batting second. He is in right field. He is, of course, a right-handed hitter. Bellinger in center field as a lefty. Giancarlo Stanton in the cleanup spot, a righty. Wells behind the dish, a lefty. Goldschmidt, first base, a righty. Batting seventh, Jaz Chisum, lefty. Batting eighth, Anthony Vulpi at shortstop. And batting ninth, Oswaldo Peraza. It goes lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty, and then another righty against a right-handed pitcher. That's pretty good. Against a left-handed pitcher, Dominguez not as strong from the right side, so maybe you don't bat him lead off against lefties. Maybe you switch, Vulpi up there for the time being, or maybe put Dominguez up there and let him sink or swim. We'll see. But I like the lineup other than Peraza. There's been some talk about Oswaldo Cabrera playing third base. He is a switch hitter, so that would, give you a little bit more flexibility there. But the Yankees like him as a utility guy, and I don't see them giving him a starting job, even though he showed some great moments last year. Ideally, one more bat. I'm just not sure who's out there. There's been some talk about Ryan McMahon. The Rockies have shown no interest in dealing him. I just don't think that there's a lot of guys out there who can come in and play third base and be an effective left-handed bat. Maybe there's a prospect out there somewhere that I'm overlooking, but that's Brian Cashman's job. I'll just react to it when it happens. Hey, while I've got you here, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Pinstripe Territory is the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We are home to the #1 most watched MLB postgame show on YouTube since 2021. We're here after every Yankees game and for reactions to all the best news and rumors during the offseason. Be a part of the show by calling into the voicemail 718-899-1068. Try to keep it clean for me. And if you ever miss us on YouTube, be sure and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars. It'll help other people find the show. Thanks for watching. See ya.